It started with a gaze, nothing overtly inappropriate, just a lingering glance during lectures, a quiet tension that felt like it didn't belong in a classroom. I was supposed to be the professional, the calm, collected professor who kept her personal life far from her lectures on modern literature. But something about him, Jordan Wells, kept drawing me in. He wasn't the top of the class, not the loudest voice, but his essays held depth, like he was trying to say something between the lines. Maybe that's what pulled me in at first. That, and the way his hazel eyes tracked me like he already knew something I didn't. My name is Rebecca Monroe, 37, married to a successful corporate lawyer named Scott. We've been together for over a decade, and while the love was once vibrant and passionate, time has a way of dulling even the brightest fires. Lately, Scott had been working late more than usual, distracted during dinner, always a text away from stepping out to take another call. I told myself it was the nature of his job, but deep down, I knew it was more than that. Our emotional connection had turned into polite cohabitation. We barely touched anymore. One Thursday evening, after my 4 p.m. lecture on American romanticism, Jordan lingered behind. I was organizing my papers when I felt his presence closer than usual. "Professor Monroe," he said, his voice low and steady. "Can I talk to you for a moment?" I looked up, slightly caught off guard. "Sure, what's on your mind?" He hesitated, shifting his weight like the ground beneath him wasn't stable. Then he exhaled slowly, stepping closer. "It's not about class," he said. "At least, not entirely." I raised a brow, my heart already speeding up in a way I hated to admit. "Okay, I know it's probably inappropriate, and I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, but I can't keep pretending anymore. I like you. I've liked you since the first week, and I know you're married, and I know this could cost me everything, but I needed you to know." The room suddenly felt too small, the fluorescent lights too bright. I opened my mouth to say something, anything, but nothing came out. I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for how much it would affect me. "You don't have to say anything," he continued quickly, his eyes searching mine. I needed to be honest. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay next to Scott, who was snoring softly, his phone lighting up every few minutes with messages he didn't care to hide. I turned on my side and stared into the dark, Jordan's voice echoing in my head. I tried to tell myself it was just a student crush, a moment of youthful confusion. But the truth was, I felt something too. It wasn't long before we were talking after each lecture, always in the open, always careful. But the air between us was charged. I started noticing little things. How he remembered what I wore, how he complimented my mind, not just my appearance. He saw me, not as someone's wife or a woman past her youth. He saw me as I was, and I hated how much I needed that. 2 weeks later, I agreed to meet him for coffee off campus. It was supposed to be innocent. It wasn't. We talked for hours about books, relationships, our frustrations, our fears. He was 24, mature in ways most men his age weren't. I found myself laughing again, blushing even, like I hadn't in years. I tried to convince myself it was just a harmless connection. But the line between right and wrong blurred faster than I could pull back. One evening, I invited him to my office, under the pretense of discussing a paper draft. My heart pounded the entire time. When he arrived, he looked different. Less like a student, more like a man who knew what he wanted. The door shut, and silence filled the room. "You're playing with fire," I said quietly. "So are you," he replied. And then, we kissed. It was desperate, unplanned, hungry. The moment his lips met mine, I felt the years of emotional neglect, loneliness, and longing melt into that one electric moment. I should have stopped it. I didn't. What followed became a pattern. We met in secret, always careful, always in control. But emotionally, I was spiraling. Jordan wasn't just a fling. He became an escape from a life that felt like it belonged to someone else. He made me feel alive again, seen again, wanted. One afternoon, As autumn settled in and the campus trees turned to amber and gold, I found myself in a motel room with him. It wasn't just lust anymore. We talked between kisses, laughed between touches. He told me he'd never felt this kind of connection with anyone, that he wasn't just chasing a fantasy. "I know I'm younger," he said, tracing his fingers along my spine. "But that doesn't make this any less real." I didn't answer, because in my heart, I was already choosing him. But real life has a way of crashing down when you least expect it. One night, Scott came home earlier than usual. His tie was loosened, and she fell.